Hello YouTube artist, I'm Kelly Hernig and welcome to In the Studio. Today we're going to be painting a little bitty snowman. So he's a snowman here that is on legs and he's juggling 3 snowballs. The blue dots you see are my masking fluid. It's dry. When you press it, it stays firm. If you press it and it's still soft, let it dry probably about 10 more minutes. You want it nice and firm so that when you're washing over it, you don't pull up the color and gunk up your brushes. I'm going to be using my favorite masking fluid, which is Schminky masking fluid. And all I'm going to do is open the lid. I'm going to stick a pin. I always keep a pin just connected right here with masking tape. And I'm just going to stick it down the hole there, make sure there's no clogs. And then I'm just going to create dots. Before I put it away, I always take my pin and I just unplug it once again. I find that if I clean the spout before I put it away, I get a much better result using it the next time. I'm using my Studio palette from 2025. I just want to play around with its colors for one last time. I'm not sure if I'm going to use this palette into 2026, so let's have fun exploring the color mixes. I want it to be really kind of dark on this side of my snowman, but kind of lighter on this side. I also want this to be a little purple on this side and a little bluer on this side. So I'm going to mix lunar blue here. That is going to be my background. I like the depth of this one. So I'm going to do lunar blue on one side with a little bit of Sleeping Beauty. If you don't have Sleeping Beauty, you can use like a cobalt teal. It's going to be a little brighter, but it'll be beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to mix up the next color there. I want to mix up the lunar blue and the strawberry velvet. The strawberry velvet color is by Alonia. I love this red. I want it to be a nice purple. This red granulates, it's really lovely. So I'm going to add a lot of this and then I'll add lunar blue to it. All right, look at those 2 colors for the background. That's going to be nice. So I'm just dipping into some water. I'm going to avoid the snowman right now. While that's wet, I'm going to keep with the cold or the cool side, right? I've got the little warmer with the red here because I'm going to put a red scarf on him, so I wanted that bright red. But then on the snowman, I'm going to use the Titan Buff or the French gray, sorry, and a little bit of the lunar blue. I want to keep it kind of on the bluer side. And I want it a little dirtier, so I could use Sleeping Beauty, and maybe I'll use a mix here since I just got it. Need more water. And I'm kind of doing it all over because I do want the white parts to show that I've got the masking fluid on. And you can see a little bit of the reds coming up here. That's okay. I want to add a little bit more blue down here. I'm going to splash him as well. I want him to have texture too. Snowballs need to have some color too. Okay, you can see it's got a lot of texture on it. Look at all that texture so far. I love that. This really has to dry. I've got a lot of wet spots in that. He is dry to the touch. He's still a little damp over here, but everywhere else he's pretty dry. I'm going to come in and add some darker value to his belly for sure. I want it to look nice and full. So what I'm going to take is, that was the Titan Buff, and a little bit of the Lunar Blue. I want it a little heavier now, so less water really. Going to do the same along his face here at the bottom, just as it goes into the scarf. I want to make sure it's nice and dark there. Under his arms. Under that scarf. And then the snowballs on the bottom. We need to give him as much texture so that he kind of looks like he's built, right? So he's made of snow. Gonna do his scarf in the strawberry velvet. Gonna add a little bit of orange to it just to add that orange because we're gonna put an orange nose on him. So I want it to be nice and bright, that scarf. Now along the outside here and here, I want to go a little deeper. Got a little bit of a scarf coming through here. This side here can be a little darker because it's kind of in the shadow. Going to add a little bit more orange to that red there. I want to go with the Lunar Blue and a little bit of my Van Dyke Brown. Okay, his belly is much fatter than his legs, so it hangs over the legs. So I want to make sure that I make that nice and dark. So we're gonna do that a little darker here. And we're gonna add a little bit of shadow to his legs. Just water, let's soften that out a little. Gonna add that to his armpits as well. Gonna let that dry a couple minutes and then I'm gonna pull it off, but in the meantime I can pull off the tape, I think. I haven't added anything to the sky. This is yellow frog tape. It's made for delicate surfaces and I really like how it comes off really easy. If you ever have a problem where you can see it peeling off the paper, blow dry it and that releases some of the stickiness of the tape. It comes off a little easier. I've got a couple spots where it came out and that's because I didn't have it down as much as I should have. So I'm just scrubbing it a little. Some colors scrub off easier, so if you're using like a phthalo blue or a phthalo green, yeah, you probably won't get those off, but these colors are nice and soft. Okay, I want to deepen his scarf a little bit. So that was the strawberry velvet, and I'm going to add some of the blue. Take a little bit of orange here and just add it to that mix that we just mixed the scarf, and I'm going to shade his nose with that. With some lunar blue, I'm just going to go right here next to his legs. Make sure they're really defined, and under his arm here. I want to make sure he stands out nice and dark in some areas. Then with just water on my brush, just gonna kind of soften it out. Just water again, soften. With that lunar, take a little bit of it and underline some of the snowballs here. Now I just dried this, so you want to make sure that the masking fluid is not warm. If it is warm, it may rip your paper as it comes up. So I'm just feeling it to make sure that it's cooling down. It's almost there. For picking up the masking fluid, I use a rubber cement picker-upper. And this is just a piece of like rubber that's kind of rough, but it makes it easier than picking it off with your hands. See how easy it comes off? Okay, took off all of the masking fluid and you can see how bright white they are. I really love that because it looks like he's in a snowstorm. But what I want to do too is I want to add a couple darks a little more so that he looks a little more rounded. I'm also going to add some bright whites on his head. So I've just got a Uniball Signo here and I'm just going to come up with some brighter white dots. You can add as much as you want with the white. Add a little highlight on each button. And there he is, my little snowman. Very cute, very adorable. I love the really big white spots of the masking fluid. I wanted to create this little joyful snowman today for you, my audience here on YouTube. Thank you for being part of the community here. I appreciate the support, the enthusiasm, the delight you get from my videos. Your kindness and thoughtful comments really warm my heart, so thank you for that so much. As a thank you for being part of my art community here on YouTube, I want to offer you 20% off all of my online courses. This will last until January 2nd, and then it will be taken down. So just know that if you're wanting to get any of my classes, use the coupon code found in the video description box, but know that it will expire January 2nd at midnight. And I look forward to us being together again in 2026. It's a new year. I've got new goals. I've got new things to share with you, and I can't wait to take you along on the journey. So from my art studio to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.